Good morning, beauties, wherever you are on this beautiful, gorgeous planet, our home, while we are in the body. How are you feeling during these wild solar storm days approaching, well, we'll call it a comet, although they don't know what it is, right? Three-eye Atlas. I am noticing as a sensitive, intuitive, empathic being, which I know you are as well. Yeah, and I know you are. If any one human being is listening to me right now, and it's not about me in the personality, but this vibration that is happening right now with some of us speaking to each other about what we are feeling right now, then I know that you are also a highly sensitive human being who feels things deeply and sometimes can't explain what the feeling is attached to. So there's something about that apparently wants to be shared about today. When you are waking up to your awareness of yourself as a tuning fork, let's use that, tuning fork, right? You may have always known since you were a little child that you picked things up easily, that you felt things that there was no outward explanation for, right? The adults around you or other people around you might have been smiling and exhibiting sort of outward visual cues that looked like happiness or, calm. And yet you felt something else. You felt an undercurrent. You felt in your body, right, an expression that wasn't being spoken out loud. Or you walked into an old building at some point, a very old building, and you felt other presences there, but you couldn't see them with your outer eye, right? And many, many cultures in this earthly experience don't honor that kind of expression. In fact, quite the opposite. Let's say you heard voices, right? Or you had some connection to a guide, or you were channeling perhaps people who had passed, right? Who had passed out of their bodies, and you were speaking or being spoken to by your grandmother who had left the body, or something like that, right? But in the cultures in the West, typically, that could actually be pathologized because there's so much fear about what isn't understood. And because we have veered toward a particular form of science, right, that relegates things like that, paranormal, supernatural experiences to the outer regions, right, non-scientific, anecdotal, right? So we know now science is slowly catching up to this reality of consciousness, right? And that's a big, 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 big conversation. But you, as a highly sensitive, empathic being, as a human being, as a soul being inside of this vehicle, this vessel, this multifaceted, complex, gorgeous, gorgeous vessel called our bodies, the body on earth, right? That you have been experiencing the unseen, the quote unquote unheard, and knowing these experiences, right? So now, this moment in time, I feel incredibly strongly and in a lot of my own personal sense of authority. I can have no authority over you or your experience, nor would I ever tell you that this is what is happening. But for me, I am noticing that in the past, right, since 2020, really, the shift of the wheel has been so clear. And in this year in particular, it has been just rapid, right? So fast, so much incoming, so many downloads. And how do you keep awakening, right? Awakening is not an end result, right? It's with a gerund, ing, awakening. Awakening is an ongoing process. As long as you are in a body, you are awakening constantly to new aspects of yourself. When we stop and get static, right? I am awakened. I am the guru. Right? Then you've put a stop sign on what is possible for you. You also then put yourself in sort of an isolation cage, right? Like you are the one who has achieved a particular something, and maybe lots of other people don't have, right? They don't have the ability to access that place, right? They can be guru adjacent, but not become their own guru, right? So this inner guru within you, right? This light within you is always awakening, always awakening. And how do you keep that going forward and really activated and really alive in the midst of so much distraction, noise, chaos, violence, right? We know, right? These acts are being promulgated all over. AI, right, coming in and imposing a particular viewpoint, right? It's not that AI is imposing, right, our interaction with it. And if we take the fascination, right, it is interesting, it is fascinating, but one must remember to remain connected and embodied, radically embodied, and to remember that what you are in this incredible, beautiful, beautiful costume, this gorgeous, right, vessel of magnificence, can never, ever, ever, ever be replicated, right? Not by any set of ones and zeros, all right? I am not saying, oh, be terrified of AI. And yes, I do want to talk about AI briefly here, right? I think I'd love to do an entire video on AI and my interactions with it and my interest in it, and then also my leaning way, way back from it, and becoming the witness. This is part of our practice, right? Pause. Lean back. Breathe your way back down and in, down and in. Connect to the mother. Re-embody yourself. Embody yourself. Remember yourself. So that you can be the discerning witness. So that you can pay attention to your deep inner knowing that you've always had. But now you're plugging it in actively every day by way of practice. So that you can have discernment and discipline around all of this chaos that is being thrust at you, at us, right? On purpose. Yeah? Some people are just accidentally part of the wave, but some people are most definitely on purpose in trying to own your attention, keeping you in tension to own your attention. Okay? So how do you keep awakening and keeping yourself bright and open as a vessel, clearing out. Number one, this year is a year for clearing out, concluding, finishing, regarding the last 10 years, looking at what you have learned, what you want to keep in your treasure chest, in your toolkit, and what you know is not good for you, is not nourishing. That includes thoughts that you repeat constantly against yourself or others, right? Harsh judgment, thoughts, words. We'll go with the old school thoughts, words, and deeds, right? The thought, the mind, the words spoken aloud or internally, the deeds or actions you take or don't take. Really, really attend to these old patterned responses, right? As I spoke in the other day in a video, the message is in your mess. Yes, go back through the mess briefly, pull out the gems, pull out the things that you have learned that are actually part of your toolkit, right? Translating, transforming trauma into gold, into gems, right? Profound sensitivity, incredible compassion. Having walked through fires, having walked through addiction, you might have that beautiful gift of being able to be present for another who's going through those dark nights of the soul, those passageways, right, where they feel like there's no way out. And you've made your way through that. So, and you're constantly awakening to new ways to elevate and lift yourself into an aspect of surrender, right? That word, it's been used a lot. Just surrender, just let go, right? That means nothing when you don't have any tools or any understanding of how to do that, and even what it means, right? Looking at patterns, the way that you can see patterns in your own life, I believe it's important to be supported in this, but you can certainly start practicing by leaning back. And, I say this every single video. Leaning back is a physical thing, right? I'm suggesting that you somatically do what you are wanting to do psychologically, spiritually. So you actually lean back. You pause, you lean back, you pause, you press the pause button. Right? Your mind's gonna be like, no, I have to do something. And you are literally out loud again. Words. No, you don't. Out loud. No, you don't. It's okay to pause and lean back. And breathe your way back down and in, so that you can then maybe write about, share about with a trusted friend or mentor. Okay, here are the pieces. I'm able to see them now. These old patterns. Wow, that wasn't me. That was maybe the voice of my father, my mother, the people around me, my teachers, the culture, speaking words over me that are not part of me. I don't want them. You can say literally, I don't want them to be a part of me. They're not nourishing me. They're not helping me to keep awakening, to keep discerning what is chaos, what is ugliness, and what is beauty, what is new, what is being refreshed in order, right? Why would we want to do all this? In order to be a beneficial presence on the planet at this time. We need beacons. We need lighthouse keepers. We need elders who are wisdom holders. Okay? We need young people who are really, really courageous and willing to say, no, you cannot co-opt me. You cannot purchase my energy, my enthusiasm, my youth. No, right? And in order to be able to discern that, to keep awakening in the midst of chaos and confusion, and loud, distracting voices is to practice with yourself. Re-up yourself, re-own yourself. Find out what software is glitchy inside of you. Just to use that vernacular, it's easy to use that vernacular because we understand it in this moment, right? I'm not saying we are machines, but you are in charge. Be sovereign about what is that is right. Just like that software doesn't work, right? It's not even allowing you to have a new body because it has to keep going over this old information that isn't helping you to flow with what's new, right? Your body will most definitely not feel well if you have old uploads and downloads, old thoughts, old principles rolling through constantly, right? And keeping you in that state of anxiety and tension. Yeah, your body will express that. It will be very tired. It will be very, right? It can produce any number of responses to that. Just like your house, if you don't sweep it out, right? There are dust balls all over the place. Cleaning the clutter. Clean the clutter out of your mind. Okay? Free your mind so that you can understand you are not your mind. Your mind is a tool. A beautiful, beautiful tool. Okay? Dropping down and into your body, into your precious, precious, precious body. All right. I love you. Be well.